approach mentality.
Listen, if you're Gluto, you might as well, you need to make a Mr. R sign right now and hold it up, okay? You are his biggest fan right now, if I had to imagine. So let's get into it. Game number 1, gonna go to FD again. I love this stage system because I feel like it gives us a few more unique looks for these game number 1s. We've seen Yoshi's, now we're seeing FD. I love it. Give me more of that. Hollow Bastion at some point needs to make an appearance too.
My favorite music on there too. I gotta say, something that it's gonna be nice to note though is the usage of these nairs from Mr. R and the way that MUTEACE is going to try to use that float to a kind of microspace out of that space, but then that's gonna be allowing Mr. R a setup opportunity with those needles because you're sacrificing the ability to stay on the ground with those shields.
All right. Not a bad start right now for Mr. R. I notice he loves to try and play around those shields, but a little bit of missed spacing. That's going to create an opening right there that Mute does not tend to let go to waste. Charging up the needles again, coming through again. Nice nairs, aerials all around from Mr. R for the pressure. I hope it's going to amount to something. Nice, just trying to track down that landing and does just that. Finds a very good back air. You can tell, definitely eager to get one of those conversions off of the needle storm. Mute able to just go a little too high though.
Yeah, Mute approaching a lot with these down airs too. Just changing up the height of when Mute wants to approach. Holding shield against those needles. Love the turnaround grab once again once Mute lands on that stage after using the float. Always so good at getting those mix-up opportunities too. Once you Mute has you conditioned where you want to hold shield by the ledge.
Ooh, nice. Switching up a little bit. I like that. Actually, not committing to the up air understanding. I think Mute was a little out of range right there, but just finds a secondary option and able to get that stock off. Rather safe than sorry on that one. I think it paid off big time for Mr. R.
Yeah, you know, we talk about the WAF being the win con, but in this situation, of course, it's the conversion that we see from Mr. R with those needles into the bouncing fish. We see a few opportunities like that Mr. R opens up with himself and being able to get that bouncing fish.
Absolutely, Vicky. Absolutely.
So jump around MUTEACE's space, avoids that back air, does get that grab.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. R gets away with a lot of rolls.
Yeah, for real though, like he does roll a lot on the stage, but it's that respect. The fear across the field though. Touchdown over there as he's gonna lose his first stock. 59% only on board for Mute. Not too much of a big deal though when it comes to this matchup.
Yeah, that's facts. All right, powering through. And just like that, I mean, you take a look at it, we're already back on even footing. One thing Peach can definitely do, bully her way back into any contest, as Mr. R is finding out right now. Eats the up air. Smart, just taking refuge on the other side of the stage, but gets right back into the fray. Love that, and wow, that's gonna get the stock off. I'll tell you, it's one thing, you know the conversion's coming. Sometimes you don't necessarily expect it to KO at those percentages, but Mr. R, aware of all of his combo routes and does not disappoint.
Oh, wow, gets the regrab again after Mr. R wanted to avoid that forward air, and you saw him just try to air dodge right past him here. See the weight just in case. It's the conditioning here too. Again, you see him floating around it, but that means that you're gonna get hit by that needle if Mr. R is in the space where he could actually commit to using it.
Absolute fact. Ooh, is that gonna do it? Yes, it will. Nicely done. All right, so 51% separating Mr. R and MUTEACE right now for this first game. Mr. R continuing the onslaught. You see, he's just so wise to just use that back air off of the down throw, keeping that up air nice and fresh. Those KO opportunities that will emerge.
Oh, saw the side B attempt coming in from MUTEACE. Has to use the parasol here. And these nairs, being able to control so many options when you're stuck by the ledge is so important for Mr. R.
Yes.
He uses his jump there. That's why he had to try to microspace with the bouncing fish. He gets the third time.
All right. Starting to pick up right now, 127. Oh my goodness, coast to coast. I'll send you left, I'll send you right, but it doesn't really matter. MUTEACE said, I'm not letting you send me to the blast zone just yet.
You don't want to steal it either here, too. You're giving Peach that rage. You're at 50%. He is sending MUTEACE left to right.
Oh, wow, that was gold for MUTEACE. What a decision right there. Gets away. Not getting punished properly, though. Mr. R coming through, dash attack, 166. This Peach is bloodied up, and that's going to put her to rest. The trump into back air to seal the deal. Mr. R taking game one.
What's crazy, E, is despite Peach being at like 166 right there and Mr. R sitting at 50%, It was still even. It was still very scary for Mr. R.
See, you've been accusing me of jinxing all throughout. That's why I ain't say nothing. That's why I ain't say nothing. That's why I ain't say nothing.
I waited until the very end because I'm like, you know, yes, like he is literally ping-ponging MUTEACE across FD, but this is a scary situation that we see Mr. R in a
100%.
lot. But finalizing that game, kind of getting that sweat off his forehead real quick before diving into that second game.
That was crazy.
Oh, Halabashin, they heard us.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
Hey, I mean, I just wanted to see. It's a beautiful stage, especially aesthetic-wise. I mean, I am a fan, but let us see what Game 2 has in store. These sets have been so good, man. And all these groups are capable of producing the same level of just excitement and hype and anticipation for everybody, especially the viewers who get to watch this from the comfort of their homes. You guys are the real winners for sure when you look at the talent pool that's been assembled for this event. But we got one more set that we are in right now to close out Group A. Let's go ahead and find out who is going to be victorious. Is MUTEACE going to force this to game number 3, or Mr. R find himself delivering another 2-0? Closing out the day the way he opened it.
Oh, yeah, and also allowing Gluto to feel a lot more comfortable, too, because this is what he's really banking on right now. See, dealing some of that extra damage from the bouncing fish. It's the downer attempts, but the back air is going to come out from MUTEACE, keeping Mr. R by that ledge. You see the immediate reset from you to actually try to prioritize pulling out that turnip, because it can be a bit oppressive sometimes when you have to think about the barrage of fares that Mr. R controls the stage with.
Definitely. Nice, lands with the grab, smart stuff. Play around a grenade. Nice, I like that nair a lot. The control from Mute and just scouting out where Mr. R is heading. Keeping him completely in check on this right side. Mr. R being taxed, damage really starting to accumulate. And for Sheik, that is not your best friend.
It's a scary situation. Look at the amount of, he's been ping-ponging back and forth. Mute finally solidifies that first stock with the back air.
Uh-oh, and then some.
Immediately grabs him out. What he was trying to pressure him up with, especially off that turn up on that platform. You know that Mute could deal a lot of damage quickly with Peach. Nice parry here, just get off that platform real quick with the rising nair. It's the bouncing fish. That's the conversion. That's the checkmate that Mr. R wants.
There it is, beautifully done, man. The execution on point, and you see the result right there. Immediately dragging himself back into this game at number 2. Incredibly important for both these players. Obviously more so Mute, just keep the opportunity to still get that second win alive right now. Mr. R, though, understanding one game away from doing just that. Was so close against Gak. You saw him win that first game against Gak, lose a pretty close one in the second one, and then just kind of get ran over in the third. So Mr. R certainly not trying to let history repeat itself again, win the first game and not be able to close out the set.
So gets that grab there, controls that stage. See Mute angling that shield just in case Mr. R tries to land with a fair from right above. Answer back with a fair themselves here. She could also low profile a lot of times here too. She kind of pancakes themselves. See them just trying to go right up. Tries to go for the rising nair as well.
There's a lot of patience being shown here from Mr. R. Understands he has to chip away at this lead that MUTEACE has, while at the same time being so cautious not to get caught up in a scary situation. But the situation is being presented right now. Scary hours for Mr. R.
Avoids that up smash. You know Mute really wanted that, but that did force Mr. R to burn that double jump.
Definitely.
Before going in for a reset.
I gotta admit, it's definitely been a little bit of a slow burn on the part of Mr. R, but it's definitely starting to show the benefits. Got MUTEACE into those triple digits. Gotta be feeling good. Nice for to the left side of the stage, but one opening found and one stock lost.
It's the reset that Mr. R was trying to force right there too. Not only burning the double jump into the bouncing fish just to reposition, but that's the pressure that Mr. R is feeling from MUTEACE just controlling the stage alone. Up air coming out. Is it going to scoop up Mr. R? The down tilt into the up air though, as MUTEACE gets sent a little bit more to the left than he was expecting.
All right, smooth stuff. Trying to find a way in. Nice, the bouncing fish again. Vicky, the go-to response from Mr. R. No real setup right there, just kind of delivered it raw, just seeing an opening being presented.
Peach trying to float and trying to kind of mix up a timing and just getting right back in. Let's get the land hit with the winky face here, but does get that grab nonetheless. Landing near real quick, controlling that middle platform. Doesn't want to hang out where Mr. R could get that easy drag down that we've seen Mr. R get before, but the side B is going to keep MUTEACE by the ledge.
Okay, one hit, we'll take it.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. R could be going into kind of what we saw on that last stock. Again, just slows it down to a crawl and just content to just pick away, get these little hits that obviously do start to add up. 19% separating the two right now.
Nice turnaround grab that we've seen a lot from Mute. Tries to call it a jump, but he actually ended up just going immediately to stage, maybe trying to predict a neutral get up or get up attack here. Gets that grab. Mr. R doing the same thing though. These empty hops, try to get a conversion off the needles here, but Mute actually opted to go for a high recovery.
So eager to see how this will shape up the results of this pool. If Mr. R is able to get the 2-0, but what about MUTEACE? What if MUTEACE can force this third game? So much on the line for both of these competitors. You can feel it, the DI to stay alive for Mr. R. Gonna go right to that ledge, and how are you gonna get off on this? MUTEACE has scouted out a couple of those high routes before, but nothing given up by Mr. R on that one. Tries to go for a very brazen up air, and it's going to be costly as MUTEACE finds the dash attack to send us to game number 3.
This is so intense. It looked like Mute was swatting mosquitoes left to right with the fair, but the way that Mr. R is, it's so difficult to catch him. He's so slippery, literally, with the bouncing fish there too, just to help position himself in a better way where he could avoid MUTEACE's aerials in general. But that one time that he tried to commit with that up here, it just took that one time for Mute to capitalize with that dash attack.
Sometimes that's all it takes. So right there, Mute can maybe breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, understanding, okay, I got myself on the board too. I don't have the official game counts or head-to-heads with me right now. But let's just say, I think if Mute wins here, Mr. R does own the head-to-head over Gluto. So this is damn.
This is actually intense. All right, guys, this is going to be the final game in this Group A right now. We're wasting no time. For those of you guys tuning into Odyssey right now, welcome, guys, because it is one show right now where we're at the very beginning, and we're already sitting on the edge for a lot of these players to figure out whether our MVP from the last tournament that we had seen here, a Gluto, maybe going home.
Yeah, that'll be insane. Again, I'm not the guy who's doing the calculations here. I'm just doing the speculations. That's what we're doing right now, having some fun with the potential numbers and situation scenarios that have been presented in this first group, which again, Vicky, is just, it tells you so much. This is how we're opening things up in this group right now. Still 3 more to go, by the way.
Yep, so, here we go.
And of course, one big game to go right now between these two Titans. They've been playing out of their mind. MUTEACE and Mr. R, sensational play between both. Mr. R looking to get that set up. Not quite gonna find it off of that down air. Oh, wow, actually avoiding a lot of things. MUTEACE, though, sets him up and not quite able to send him out just yet.
Oh, one hit of Neo.
Wow, that was great spacing.
Yeah, with the down tilt, too. And again, you got to cancel right out of it, maybe thinking that he's going to fall with a backer or maybe even a nair, but that's not going to do it. The conditioning is just holding shield and getting that grab, shifting some of that momentum here.
Oh, caught him, and that's going to be the stock. Yes, Mr. R. Very successful conversion rate off of those needles, as MUTEACE has found out more than a couple of times this far in their set. Again, so intense and just best of 3s, man. But the intensity has not been at all affected.
Oh, nice spacing from Mute, avoiding the needle here too, just preventing Mr. R from getting any extra credit with this second stock, trying to even things up. Isn't going to be able to land with that back air though. Here comes those fair strings from Mr. R, the spot dodge into the down air right in front of him.
He's getting a little cute with those dares. MUTEACE is probably expected in a couple of these situations. Wow, that combo game, insane 62. Thanks for coming.
These turn-up tosses as well. Star going to be able to get that grab, but Mute actually DIing to the left, not allowing Mr. R to get that back air.
Oh, all right. I'll lock him down. Oh, close for the grab attempt. Mute not letting it happen, though.
Gotta do the shimmy set over to the side here, too. See the spot dodge coming out. Mute knowing exactly what Mr. R wanted. The ground float into the fair. See Peach lifting up her dress a little bit just to try to chase him across the stage.
Oh, okay, I think it was going for the needle toss right there, but Mute interrupting with the dash attack, using this grenade to just get a little bit of security on that landing. 124, Mr. R. This is definitely a tough spot to be in, 142.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, when you're as light as Sheik, for Peach, you can damn near pass gas and take off this stock, so Just imagine what those big aerials, those big hits can do for sealing this away. I didn't mean to speak it into existence, Vicky, because I think it was on the way regardless.
And now it's 65% here. MR.R needs to capitalize with MUTEACE being by the side, but he couldn't get that needle conversion into the bouncing fish. He has another opportunity right here. Is he going to be able to space with these nairs or the down tilt? Gets a spot dodge, keeps MUTEACE by the side. Is it trying to overextend with the bouncing fish despite MUTEACE recovering a bit with these floats, just to stall in the air?
Yeah. Again, the spacing immaculate so far. Nice, nice, nice. That's not going to be enough to do it. Oh, wow, okay. Talk about flirting with danger there. Overshoots the needles just a tad bit. And this is big for Mute. Needs some additional damage, but gets sent in the blast zone. I like the DI attempt, but not going to be enough. MR.R immediately bringing this one back. Anybody's game. Oh, the smoothness right there.
All right.
Billie Jean right there. I saw you.
Gotta give the stanky leg a little bit too with the slide sometimes as well. Also got nice to highlight that initially, just even to get that second stock off of Mute, that he had to DI into Mute to avoid getting hit by the backer from the initial grab that he had. 43% now. It is so close, EE. You see Mute trying to land with these backers across from these nairs.
Absolute insanity right now, man. It's just so tense. You could just feel it. Can cut the tension. It's in the air. And what about Gluto, who all he can do right now is just watch helplessly on the sideline as his fate very well so could be decided by the results of this set. MR.R trying to make it happen. It goes for another dare. Those dares have not been too effective. I think Mute has them pretty well scouted out.
Yeah, you can see too, Mute shield may have looked small a bit here, but it was not enough to even add in some of that extra shield pressure. 69% here for Mute. You see these turnip tosses coming in. Gonna go overhead on MR.R.
MR.R, okay. I got a feeling MR.R is definitely gonna go for a big boy play any moment now, understanding his stock is certainly in jeopardy. Tries to bait out the air dodge. Oh my goodness, not a trade you want to take. 140 right now, but MUTEACE is at 81.
Oh, the insurance from the side real quick. Oh, he actually managed to space away, but the back here at 155, MUTEACE comes out on top. Is Gluto out? Does this...
I'm not making any calls, Vicky. I'm not making any calls, but it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good for France's hero.